PAD's Professional Student Edition is an industry-standard professional printed circuit board, or PCB, design tool. Powered by Mentor's Expedition technology, used by some of the most innovative companies in the world, you'll be able to create everything from the most basic of designs to elaborate, industry-worthy boards. Why use this for your classes and projects? PAD's Professional Student Edition is filled with features for a complete full-flow PCB solution aimed at minimizing respins and getting designs completed efficiently. With everything from schematic capture, layout, signal integrity analysis, manufacturing, and 3D modeling, you can be sure you've created the best design before sending it out for production. Who does this really benefit? Engineers of all disciplines. We're seeing PCBs in almost every electronic device today, from cars to garden sprinkler timers, and electrical engineers aren't the only ones involved in the process. With CAD Collaboration, we're able to design electronics to fit the 3D characteristics and requirements of our end goal products. So really, electrical and mechanical engineers can work together to produce the perfect design in PAD's Professional before sending it out to physical manufacturing. The PAD's Professional Student Edition software is simple to obtain. First, go to pads.com and click on Student Edition in the banner. Here, you can find more information, and clicking Download takes you to a form to request the software. A host ID is required to obtain the correct license for the machine you plan to use, and instructions on how to find the proper ID can be found here. Simply continue with your university information and your graduation date, and you'll be on your way to starting the PAD's Professional experience. Soon after submitting the form, you'll receive an email with the installation, license, and some resources. Step-by-step instructions can be found to guide you through the PAD's Professional Student Edition installer. Note that the license required to run the software is attached to the email as a padspro.dat file. Be sure to save this as stated in Step 3 of the installation instructions. Once you've installed the PAD's Professional Student Edition software, you may want to take a moment to familiarize yourself with the tool and start with some helpful tips and exercises. Whether this is going to be your first PCB or you're a PCB expert, or if you're just looking to understand what PCB design really entails, you'll find plenty of helpful tips and exercises in the QuickStart guide, YouTube, OnDemand Training, and PartQuest.com. It's important to note that the OnDemand Training library is usually a paid service, but it's free for students, so take advantage of your free access with promotion code ODT-PPSE__180 found at the bottom of your email. The QuickStart guide is located in your C drive under PAD's Professional QuickStart VX.2.7. Open up the instruction PDF to reveal a fully outlined lesson plan to create a PCB for a simple design, a blinking LED flasher. This guide provides easily accessible links to YouTube video tutorials for each lesson and detailed step-by-step instructions to teach you how to best navigate the tool. Pictures will also help escort you through the design process, and tips are scattered throughout the guide to help you use the PAD's Professional Student Edition as efficiently and effectively as possible for this design and for all your future projects. Each lesson is supplemented by project files back in the QuickStart folder. Each lesson folder holds design files to start each lesson. Here, you'll find schematic files known as PAD's Professional Designer.prj files, and board layout files, saved as PAD's Professional Layout.pcb files. If you're more of a visual learner, you can check out the YouTube playlist with video walkthroughs of each lesson. You'll find similar tips in the videos as were in the QuickStart guide. Another great resource to help you through the PAD's Professional Student Edition software is our OnDemand Training. As the title suggests, these are videos that you can watch at any time to train yourself on every aspect of the tool. Each critical step of the PCB creation process, whether it's library management, schematic capture, PCB design, etc., is split into chapters with specific subsections. If you're looking into learning about adding connectivity, for example, simply click on the applicable chapter and take a few minutes to review the videos detailing connectivity. learn about the concept as a whole, or skip to a specific topic, like connecting to a bus or using special components, and you'll be on your way to applying the skills to your design. If you're ever in need of more information, there are also other chapters of similar information linked at the bottom of each page for your convenience. The email you received will also link to PartQuest.com, another resource, but this one isn't for training purposes. PartQuest is a site which links to your PADS Professional Student Edition software and eases the process of importing parts, with defined symbols and footprints, and updating the bill of materials. After downloading your necessary parts, you can easily import into PADS Professional Student Edition with Tools, Import PartQuest Parts. An even more simple way of adding parts to your design is using PartQuest's drag and drop functionality. Once you find a part you need, just click and drag into PADS Professional Student Edition's search menu. All the part information, including symbol and footprints, transfer straight into Designer. PADS Professional will also hold all your parts in this search menu. Partitioning by component category allows for easy sorting and managing the library. There's no guessing game when it comes to adding parts with an easy-to-view symbol viewer. In this case, we're looking for a 555 timer to complete our blinking flasher schematic. Searching with special characters like an asterisk makes finding parts easier than ever. Star 555 prompts a search of every component ending in 555. We're able to find and place our part with ease. Connecting and completing the design is just as hassle-free as finding the right component. Connect with abutment or simply click N on your keyboard to change into net mode and connect away. Putting a schematic together or making any adjustments has never been easier. Once your design is ready, take a minute to make sure everything fits in your electrical requirements. Signal integrity analysis is critical when designing PCBs. If the signal isn't behaving as expected, it's better to find out earlier and adjust your design rather than producing a board and finding out that you missed project requirements, or worse, created a board that failed completely. Select a net you'd like to analyze and right-click to open Hyperlink's Line Sim. Here, you can review the models and transmission line characteristics for that selected net. You can even simulate with a powerful oscilloscope. Adjust your oscilloscope to produce fairly realistic results of your signal. Here, you can even model the IC at different speeds to make sure that your design is going to work in all situations. Regardless of how complicated your design is, you'll want to verify before going forward. PADS Professional Designer makes the process simple. Run a graphical rule checker or go ahead and verify to make sure that your design rules are all met. Select the design rule checks, or DRCs, that you'd like to run and see if your schematic meets requirements before moving forward. The next step, laying out your board. With smooth connection between schematic and layout, you can open PADS Professional Student Edition Layout from Designer and create a board with all the information you've used in your schematic capture. Forward annotation allows the information to move forward in the PCB flow to layout. Now you can go to Component Explorer and see all the components you used for your schematic in this project and place as necessary. There's no guessing or confusion since you've now connected layout to schematic. Once everything is placed, it's time to route. PADS Professional Student Edition helps you route in a few ways. Whether you're a routing pro or have never done this before, you'll find some easy, convenient techniques to get the job done right. You can clearly see lines on what needs to be connected and where. You're welcome to route one net at a time, or if you see a pattern of many nets going from one general area to another, sketch routing might be a faster option. Sketch where you'd like your traces to land, and PADS Professional Student Edition uses its advanced technology to route following your sketch and following your assigned design rules. You don't need to be an expert to save time with your PCB. This tool helps where you need it. Once you've routed your entire board, you can take advantage of the fact that PADS Professional Student Edition can provide 3D results. Import mechanical models to get the full physical characteristics of your design. Many file formats are accepted, including step files. Now you can review your design in 3D. The 3D tab shows you the components as they look once they were produced. Review the whole board in 360-degree rotation. Connection between schematic and layout is still accessible. If you click on a part in layout, you'll see it selected in your schematic and vice versa. This communication along the PCB design flow allows you to make changes easily and check in on the design at any point in the PCB design process. As mentioned earlier, PCB design is no longer just for electrical engineers. Even mechanical engineering teams are involved to make a complete project. Take the example of this drill. CAD Collaboration, used seamlessly between PAD's Professional Student Edition and NX, or Solid Edge, or really any other major MCAD tool, is used to create a full product design. Within NX, you can see all the mechanical components that go into this design, including a PCB. Back in PAD's Professional Student Edition, you can place components in 3D based on the design allotments in NX. Placing components in this 3D view allows clear visuals of any physical hazards, which might not be as apparent if you're using the layout in 2D mode. Once component placement is complete on the ECAD side, you're able to import this information to NX. Not only can you directly import to MCAD, you can accept or reject changes. Reviewing board, component, area, and hole changes allows both ECAD and MCAD tools to stay synchronized and in strong communication with one another. Changes made in NX will be sent back to PAD's Professional in the same way, with the ability to accept or reject. You've heard it time and time again in your engineering courses. The skills you pick up in college will help guide you in your future careers. We're all striving for the best, so why not start with the best PCB software tools? Stay ahead of the curve by mastering all aspects of the PCB flow, schematic capture, layout, signal integrity analysis, and 3D with the PAD's Professional Student Edition, now on pads.com.